Selling can feel uncomfortable for many AEC leaders, not because they lack skill, but because it's been framed the wrong way. Most technical leaders were trained to solve problems, manage risk, and deliver results. And selling often gets labeled as something completely different, something transactional or performative that sits outside the real work. What I've come to believe is that this discomfort usually signals a framing problem, not a character flaw. When selling is treated as persuasion or pressure, it naturally clashes with how engineers, architects, and builders often see themselves. When it's framed as service, clarity, and leadership, however, it becomes something far more aligned with who you already are as a leader. At its core, effective selling in AEC is about creating clarity rather than convincing. The most valuable outcome of the early business development conversation is not a signed proposal, but a shared understanding. It's the moment when both sides can clearly see whether working together actually makes sense. That clarity protects your team, your margins, and your reputation long before a contract is ever in place. That's why selling is fundamentally a leadership responsibility. Clients are not just evaluating your technical capability. They're reading your presence, your curiosity, and your judgment. How you show up in those early conversations signals how your firm will operate when challenges inevitably arise. When leaders engage with humility and conviction, selling becomes an act of stewardship for both the client and the firm. If selling has ever felt uncomfortable or misaligned for you, it may be worth asking whether you're framing it as persuasion or as leadership. Ask yourself, how would your conversations change if your primary goal was simply to create clarity together? If any of this resonated, I'd love to connect.